Now that you and your team have answered the who, what, and why behind your project, it's time to present and pitch your product as a team. Get ready! It's time to share your story, passion, and enthusiasm that you and your team have for your project. Hi there, I'm Chloe Condon, Senior Cloud Advocate on the Next Generation Experiences team here at Microsoft. I'm so excited to share with you my tips and tricks for how to create a successful pitch with your team. Pitching your product is your chance to share with the world, judging panel, or potential investors why you deserve to bring your product to market. In our previous video, I gave you and your team the homework to answer the following questions. What is our project? Who does it help? And why should they care? The answers to these questions will serve as a guide to what we want to make sure we cover in our pitch presentation. However, before we write our pitch, we also want to ask ourselves the following. What is our mission with this project? Who are we talking to? Why should they care? And what do we want to achieve from this pitch? Let's use my example from the previous videos to show an example of how I would answer these questions. Let's say that my mission is to share the team's project in the Imagine Cup so we can qualify for the semifinals. As for the who, I'll be talking to a panel of judges, most of whom are full-time Microsoft employees or other experts in the technology field. Having context for who you're talking to is essential to crafting your pitch for the right audience. For example, a pitch that I give to an Imagine Cup judging panel would likely vary from a pitch, say, to potential investors. Tweaking the language, providing relevant examples, and speaking and connecting to your audience is key. Based on who your audience is, you can even make decisions on what key information to share in your pitch, or even make decisions on how much to focus on certain things like back-end technology, go into market strategy, what type of funding and support you're looking for, and more. In other words, you want to make sure you read the room before any presentation pitch, which means to become or be more aware of the opinions and attitudes of a group of people that you are talking to. For example, a presentation you give to pitch schools and teachers may highlight completely different points of your application than pitching to a room full of investors. So it's important to know your audience and read the room and know who you're talking to. And this brings us to the most important question while writing and practicing your pitch. What do you want? In other words, what do you want to accomplish from this pitch? If your goal is to win the Imagine Cup, you're going to want to make sure that you highlight the points and guidelines provided to you by the competition. Important tip not to forget. Make sure you know how long your pitch is required to be. This will be incredibly important while writing, rehearsing, and presenting your project. Be mindful of time and always avoid going over. You want to respect the time of your audience. Your goal is not to share all the information about your project, but to share the key takeaways you wish someone to walk away with from your presentation. Hi, I'm Chloe Condon, a team member of Project Crafts for Kids. In college, I worked as an after-school program manager for after-school programs in low-income areas of San Francisco. I often saw students in my class asking classmates for supplies since their family could not afford them, and I saw teachers have to provide basic supplies like pencils, crayons, scissors, and other basic school supplies out of pocket due to lack of classroom budget. It broke my heart to see so many students in need, and so many teachers have to use their salary to pay for these supplies out of pocket. Recently, while cleaning my office, I had a lot of unused supplies I needed to get rid of, but didn't find any resources online where I could donate these supplies to students and teachers who need them most. That inspired me and my team to build Crafts for Kids, an app which connects schools and teachers with local community members looking to donate art and school supplies. Our application not only helps prevent unused and unneeded supplies from being thrown away and sent to a landfill, but also provides teachers and students with supplies needed to be successful in their classroom. We're thrilled to be sharing this project with you for consideration to be finalists in the Imagine Cup. Okay, I just said a lot of words. Let's break all of that down. First, I start out by identifying a problem. In this example, I'm explaining the problem by telling a story. In your pitch, you can start with a statistic, fact, story, or anything else that you feel is important context in painting the picture of the problem your application aims to solve. I then continue on by sharing how the idea for this project was formed. To do this, I share a personal story from my life. However, you can do this by sharing a user story, statistic, or any other type of information you find relevant to setting the scene for sharing the context of the why behind your project. I then state my elevator pitch word for word. See, there's a reason we spent so much time crafting, wordsmithing, and refining those pitches to perfection. Your one-sentence elevator pitch is a perfect addition to your pitch presentation. I then set context for my presentation by introducing the topic I'll be speaking about. In this case, I'll be sharing a project I'm passionate about for this competition, in this case, the Imagine Cup. In your pitch, you want to make sure that you start with a story, identify a problem, and share the solution. Okay, it's homework time. Sit down with your team and discuss and put together the answers to the following questions for your pitch presentation. Who are we presenting to? What is the mission of our product? What problem does our product solve? What is our solution? Why are you and your team qualified to solve the problem? Who are the users and customers? What is your revenue and business model? Do any tools exist that already solve this problem? If so, why is your solution better or improves upon existing solutions? What stories and statistics are important to share to better connect with our audience? What parts of your project should you show or demo? And what are we asking for? I know what you're thinking. These are a lot of questions to answer, but being able to answer these ahead of time will help make making your pitch deck a lot easier. But don't worry, we'll cover all the tips and tricks for making good slides in our next presentation. In the meantime, gather up your teammates to collaborate and brainstorm on the answers to these questions. I've added them in the video description, as well as links to our entire Imagine Cup training content series below. See you soon! You're well on your way to a fabulous pitch presentation.